those men who didn't text you back or ghosted you, they did you a favor. Fork those guys. Why would you want to date somebody who doesn't want you? So those men who right out of the gate show you they don't want you, thank you for not wasting my time. I mean, that doesn't mean those guys are like good guys, but they basically didn't waste your time. So thank you. So I actually want to go into this more. By the way, this is Mediterranean. Look at this. These people have a fort. And there's another one over there. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, you're gonna get all your content from the beach probably this week. See, the thing is that if you end up with a man who doesn't really like you, but didn't have the courage to just walk away when he realized he didn't like you, and as much as I hate ghosting, sometimes it's like I preferred it. Like most men are not going to be like, hey, you know what? I realize I'm not actually ready for relationships, and they're not like even emotionally mature enough to do that stuff, right? So what they'll do instead is ghost you, which I prefer, or drag it on and get everything out of you that they can get without any intention of ever dating you. Because I promise you, those men are actually dating a lot of other women while they're dating you, which is exactly what you should be doing too. Because a lot of women will project the future onto men they've just met. We don't even know if we want to date these men. We don't know them yet, but we'll start acting monogamous with these dudes we literally just met. Not go on other dates with other men so we could even have like comparison. And then by doing so, by being like monogamous right out of the gate before we've actually had a conversation about that, we put too much into this relationship. The stakes are too high. There's too many eggs in one basket. Meanwhile, you could be going on dates with lots of dudes and you realize like, wow, this guy's making a lot of effort. That guy's not making any effort, right? You have comparison. But a lot of times we go too hard, too fast. I mean, I did it. A lot of times that's like it's not even true. It's delusional. It's based on what patriarchy tells me I'm supposed to want, or it's based on like just wanting a companionship or a partner, but I don't know if I want it with this man, right? You don't know this man yet. It takes time, and you won't even know this person in time and consistency. Those are the things that are really going to show his true color. You know, my dad gave a lot of terrible advice, but some of his dating advice, well, two of the things he said were absolutely true. One of them is that Melanie, men are mostly terrible people. They're all a bunch of rapists and unalivers. Unfortunately, he was pretty right about that. You should assume that all men are rapists and unalivers or dangerous people until proven otherwise. And only time and consistency will give you any comfort in what you determine. The other thing he says is that men are at their very best in the very beginning. It's all downhill from there. I don't agree on the second part. It shouldn't be all downhill from there. And if it is, that man is like, doesn't really like you, or he doesn't appreciate you. Now, my husband still makes me feel as loved today and as cared for, and he seems just as interested, if not more so today, than he did the day we met. So again, consistency and time. But my dad was right that a lot of guys will put a lot of like effort in the beginning and then it'll taper off. But they won't actually break it off. They won't tell you they don't actually want to like really be in a relationship with you. They'll just drag it on. Meanwhile, they are keeping their options open. I promise you. They are messaging girls on Tinder. They're taking other girls out because unless you have had a discussion that you guys are monogamous, you're not. I promise you. Now, things are a little different in France, okay? And I've written about that for the Washington Post. It's like opposite day here in so many ways. It was so hard to figure out. So most men are not actually going to tell you that they don't like you. And by not like you, I mean they don't really see you for who you are. They're just seeing you for what you can do for them. And their efforts in showing you how much they appreciate you. And I'm not meaning like grand gestures either. I'm talking like very consistent things over a long period of time. Let me actually give you an example of something. Every night my husband dreams about me. He's like a Pisces, and apparently Pisces are like big dreamers or whatever. I didn't know anything about Pisces until I married one, but everything I hear is absolutely true about him. His dreams are so important to him. Every morning he tells me about his dreams. I don't really care about them, but he cares about them, so I listen to them. Because I never remember my dreams, and when I do, they're usually full of trauma. You know, like my dreams are nightmares, and they're all based on lived experiences almost always. So I don't really share my nightmares with him because I don't want to relive them, and I just don't even want to go there. So I like to hear his. Every single dream of his includes me and him. He's like, babe, last night we were like at this park, and then our dog is usually in there too. But I'm in every one of his dreams. This man not only wants me in his life every day, he even he wants me in his dream world. I just remember being like, wow, feeling bad. I'm like, oh, you're never in my dreams. And it's just because my dreams are just nightmares, like I said. I'm glad he's not in my dreams because it's nightmares. I'm like fighting demons and fighting all that. I hope that changes one day. Maybe this EMDR will help with that. But even in his sleep, he reaches over and like gently like pets me and does all these really affectionate things, even when the man, even his subconscious is in love with me. You know what I mean? And by the way, I don't mean schmegual stuff. He's never like trying to like fork me in my sleep. He's literally just like will squeeze my hand or just give me a little hug. It's always this like reassuring, like, I love you so much, baby, kind of stuff. And it's it's like, what? Even when he's not awake, he's reinforcing and assuring me that he just loves me so much. It's weird, y'all. I'm like, is this real? He tells me on a regular basis, I love you so much, baby. I'm like, I love you too. And it's not that I don't love him. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to a man actually doing this stuff consistently. So why am I saying all this? Be grateful for those men who did not see you for how amazing you are and got the hell out of your life. Be grateful. It hurts, but I am so grateful. Every single man who rejected me, thank you. I didn't want to date you. You were just reminded me of my dad. Or you reinforced the narrative that I just am a broken human being. And I needed that at the time, although I didn't. It didn't help. You were the person I was, trying to resolve some former trauma with, and it didn't work. Like all of those men that rejected me were really not great dudes. And then there was a couple that were really great guys, but I wasn't a good fit for them. You know what I mean? We weren't compatible. And I see them with their current wives, and I'm like, that's a good match. I'm so glad that it didn't work out between us. One of the things I've also learned is to just not force solutions, especially under patriarchy as a woman. Again, I don't need men. I don't need men. A full life. I love my life. I love myself. I got a great toy, great friends, great community. I didn't need men. And when I came from that place, if a man wasn't interested in me and consistently showing me that, did me a favor. So I didn't have to figure it out later on after I'm on our wedding day when he's smashing cake in my face and clearly resents me and like doesn't even like me, but is doing this thing because he needs me and my services, but doesn't see me as a human being. Those men who reject you are doing you a favor. You don't want them. They're not good enough for you. Bye-bye. You deserve